Today, I'll develop the story of Donggorung, a World Cultural Heritage Site from the Joseon Dynasty. Donggorung is located on Donggorung-no-guri-si. Donggorung is the largest tomb in Joseon, with 9 tombs built over a period of about 450 years. 7 kings and 10 queens are buried here. Also, you can see all royal tombs from the early to late Joseon Dynasty. The 9 tombs began in 1408 with King Taejo's Konwal-leung, King Munjong's Hyul-leung, King Seonjo's Mong-leung, Queen Jangnyeol's Hwi-leung, King Hyunjong's Sung-leung, Queen Dani's Hae-leung, Yeongjo's Wol-leung. Only King Munjo's Su-leung tomb and King Hyeonjong's Gyeong-leung tomb were built one after another. Parking is available for a fee. Guru-si's interpreter is always present, so he provides commentary at 10 o'clock, 13 o'clock, and 15 o'clock. The duration is 1 hour and 30 minutes, which covers approximately 3 tombs. The description of the tomb is divided into 3 parts. In part 1, Konwal-leung, Hyul-leung, Mong-leung. In part 2, Hwi-leung, Sung-leung, Hae-leung, and Wol-leung. And part 3 explains Su-leung and Gyeong-leung in their order. At the entrance to Donggorung, there was a Yeonji, a pond through which Geumcheon flows, Geumcheon-gyo Bridge, and the waterway flow. It is called Wei-Geumcheon-gyo and Wei-Yeonji to distinguish it from Geumcheon-gyo and Yeonji at the entrance to each royal tomb. It was demolished during the expansion of National Highway 43 passing through the entrance Donggorung. As a result of analyzing the absence of Wei-Geumcheon-gyo Bridge, which was dismantled at the time, we can confirm that it was Honghae Bridge, which lower part was shaped like a rainbow. This is the restoration of Honghae shape using some of the Geumcheon-gyo Bridge members. The outer Hongsalmun Gate used to be in the current parking lot, but was moved to its current location. Outer Yeonji was located across Route 43. Konwal-leung inherited the style of Hyul-leung royal tomb of King Gongmin of Goryeo Dynasty, but made changes to the stone structures and layout of the tomb. This construction style became the standard for later Joseon royal tombs. Unlike other royal tombs, the burial mound is covered with cheongwan rather than lawn. According to the annals of King Injo, it was covered with silver grass in Hamung according to King Taejo's will. Cheongwan and silver grass are both perennial grasses, belong to the cyperaceous family and have similar appearances, but there are differences. Cheongwan is characterized by blue-colored leaves and silvergrass is characterized by green-colored leaves. Compared to silvergrass, cheongwan is shorter, has wider leaves, and has spike-shaped flowers. Silvergrass is taller than cheongwan. Its leaves are narrow and long, and its flowers bloom in the shape of inflorescence. King Taejo wanted to be buried in a place built together in Gyeong-leung near the current British Embassy next to Deoksugung Palace, where Queen Sindong was buried, but King Taejong did not follow Taejo's will. King Taejo's tomb was built in its current location. Later, Gyeong-leung was moved to its current location. The graveyard of Namjae in Byeolle-dong, Namyangju-si, was initially set as the site of Taejo's tomb by Namjae, the Prime Minister, and Konwal-leung in Donggorung was set as his site, but when he visited the 2 sites, Taejo liked the site of Konwal-leung in Donggorung more than that of Byeolle-dong, and Taejo proposed Namjae to exchange it for a site of another famous place, making the current site of Konwal-leung. The composition of the tomb includes retaining stones and laying stones, and 5 kosok are placed on the stone spirit dice. Below the tomb, there are treasures such as Jeongja-gak Monument, Subokbang, Surakgan, Hongsalmun, and Panwi. and inside the monument there is a memorial monument erected at King Taejong, and the tombstone enshrined as the late Emperor Taejo. A Jesil of Gwanwallung was named Gaegyeongsa Temple by King Taejong. It was located to the east of the location of Hyolleung on Komamsan Mountain in Guri-si, but it was closed before 1779 and only the site remains. King Taejong Lee Seong-ge rose to government office by capturing the Sangsang General Government office during the reign of King Gongmin of Korea. In 1361, he earned the favor of King Gongmin for his exploits during the Red Turban invasion. After King Wu's accession, the Ming dynasty issued a notice that it would rule the land of Lords of Cheolleong, and the Korea court conquered Ryodong in 1388. According to Chae-young's claim, Lee Seong-ge joined these ranks and turned around at Yuado Island, eliminated the opposition, deposed King Wu, and enthroned King Chang. After this, he took power, deposed King Chang, and enshrined Gongyang as king. But in 1392, he ascended to the throne at the Suchangong Palace in Gaegyeong with the proposal of the Hinjin Sadebu. The following year, the national name was called Joseon and the capital was moved to Anyang. He used 4 major policies to promote friendship with the Ming dynasty, promoted the Sungyi-okbul policy to honor Confucianism and curb Buddhism, and encouraged agriculture through the agriculture first principle. Due to the First Francis Rebellion, he abdicated to King Jeongjong, became the ex-king after King Taejong ascended the throne, and devoted himself to Buddhism in his later years. He passed away at the age of 74 in 1408 at the Gwanghyeonrup Pyeoljeon Changdeokgung Palace. After proclaims of the Korean Empire, he was reversed as Emperor Taejo in honor of King Gojong the 5th generation direct ancestor. Gwanghyeonrup Pavilion is presumed to have been destroyed before the 6th King Danjong. This is the family tree of King Taejo. Hyolleung was built southeast of Gwanwallung when King Munjong passed away in 1452. Queen Hyundok Gwan clan was enshrined in Soreung in Ansan in 1441 as a crown princess 11 years ago. She was involved in the incident of reinstatement of King Danjong, and she was dethroned but was reinstated in 1512, and in 1513 she was installed to the east of Munjong's tomb. There is an anecdote that there was a pine tree between 2 tombs, but it withered and died on its own, no longer blocking the space between the 2 tombs. The configuration of the tomb is in the form of Dongwon Igangneung, and the hill on the left is Munjong's tomb. The pattern of the retaining stones was changed to cloud pattern instead of Yeongjo and Yeongta, and the number of Kosok stones that serve as the support for stone spirit dice was reduced from 5 to 4. Queen Hyunda's tomb omitted the retaining stones, and because the king's achievements were recorded in the annals, no memorial monument was erected after Hyallung. Yeongjo is a bell-shaped device with a 금강저-shaped handle, and Yeongtak is an object that makes a sound when shaken by making a round, hollow metal piece and placing a solid object inside it. King Munjong was the fourth son of King Sejong and Queen Sohon-sim. During King Sejong's Chungnyeong-daegun years, he was born in Chungnyeong-daegun's private home. When Sejong was enthroned, he became crown prince in 1421. He was expert in astronomy and invented the rain gauge. He died in 1452 at Cheonchujeon in Gyeongbokgung Palace. Queen Hyundai became the concubine of King Munjong when he was crown prince in 1431 and was appointed crown princess in 1437. When King Munjong was crown prince, he welcomed Kim Omu's daughter as a crown princess in 1427, but she was dethroned after using secret techniques. In 1429, he welcomed Bong Yeo's daughter, but was embroiled in a homosexuality scandal and was dethroned. Sejong appointed Kwan, the highest-ranking concubine among the crown prince's concubines, as crown princess, but she gave birth to a royal heir in 1441 and died the next day at the age of 24 in Chasandang Gyeongbokgung Palace. Tomb was built in the form of crown princess tomb in Ansan, and when King Munjong ascended the throne, she was reversed as Queen Hyundai and the tomb was named Sorung. After King Sejong ascended the throne, Queen Hyundai was dethroned due to her involvement in the restoration of King Tanjong. She suffered hardship that her memorial tablet was removed from Jongmyo Shrine and her tomb was dug up. She was restated in 1512 and her memorial tablet was placed in Jongmyo Shrine and her tomb was placed on the hill to the right of the current Hyallung royal tomb. This is the family tree of Munjong. The history of Monglung is that it was created as a tomb called Yurung, and Queen Eun, the first queen of the 14th King Seonjo, passed away in 1600 immediately after Jeongyu Jaeran. When King Seonjo passed away 1608, a tomb called Monglung was built on the mountain range west of Gyeonwallung. In 1630, following Shin Myung-se's appeal that the water was cold and the site was not good, it was moved to the current location and the two names were combined and called it Monglung. When Queen Inmok, the second queen, passed away in 1632, the tomb name Haerung was chosen at the current location, and because of discussions to merge the tomb areas, it became Monglung, the current Dongwon Iganglung. The composition of the tomb is Dongwon Iganglung type, with the tombs built on the different hills within the same tomb. When looking from in front of Jeongjaga, the hill on the left is King Seonjo, the hill is in the middle is Queen Eun, and the hill on the right is Queen Inmok. Only the retaining stones is omitted in the royal tomb of King Eun and Queen Inmok, but the installation is the same as the royal tomb of King Seonjo. Jeongjaga was originally located in front of the tomb of Queen Eun. Then, in 1630, when King Seonjo's tomb was renovated and the existing Monglung Jeongjaga was rebuilt, the Jeongjaga in front of Queen Eun's tomb was demolished. Afterwards, when the tomb of Queen Inmok was built, there was an argument to move the lopsided 정자각 again, but it was deemed inconvenient, and it was decided that only split pairs would be adjacent to the 정자각. Therefore, the current 정자각 of Mongnung faces the tomb of King Seonjo, while the split pairs extends to all three tombs. 정자각, where Queen Imok's tomb was initially built as a harem, was dismantled and the site remains. Mongnung 정자각 is the only building among the royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty built with a multiple bracket cluster and has been designated as a treasure. Multiple bracket clusters have one more cluster between pillars. The 14th King Seonjo is the grandson of King Jungjong and the son of Deokgung Daewon-gun. When King Myeongjong passed away without an heir in 1567, King Seonjo was listed as the Myeongjong's adopted son by order of Queen In-sun and ascended to the throne at Gunjeongjeon in Gyeongbokgung Palace. After ascending the throne, he received Queen In-sun's regency for 8 months. In 1592, the Japanese invasions of Korea broke out, followed by the Jeongyu Cheran, and the whole country was devastated by 2 wars for 7 years. It is said that King Seonjo spent his entire life feeling envious and jealous of the people's high trust in his son Gwanghae, who wisely dealt with the Japanese invasions of Korea, and his loyalty to Yi Sun-shin, as well as his sense of entitlement that he was not of royal lineage. He was very fickle and suspicious. After Queen Eun died, Queen In-mok, who was 32 years younger than King Seonjo, gave birth to Prince Yeongchang and tried to overthrow Gwanghae, but was able to achieve his goal and died at the age of 57 in Seogwadang of Gyeongun Palace in 1608. I think he was a poor king who played with the concubine instead of caring for and helping his people devastated by the war. There were 8 concubines and many children who were immoral because he could not control family affairs properly. During the Japanese invasions of Korea, he thought of abandoning the people and running away to the Ming Dynasty first. How did the angry people set fire to Gyeongbokgung Palace? Since there was a person like this as king, I believe that many people suffered due to the incompetence of one person. Queen Eun Bakleng is the first queen of King Seonjo. Queen Eun is the daughter of Bansong Buwon-gun Park Eung-sun and was appointed queen in 1569. She had a gentle nature and was calm and compassionate, but as she had no children, she looked after the children of Seonjo's concubines as if they were her own. In particular, she favored Gwanghae-gun, the resurrection of Gongbin Kim, and treated him like her own son, and she actively supported him to become crown prince in the future. When the Japanese invasions of Korea broke out, she took refuge with Gwanghae-gun and passed away at the age of 46 at Gyeongun Palace. In 1600, after the end of Japanese invasions of Korea, the Queen Yin lived her entire life without being treated as a wife by King Seonjo. Even during the Japanese invasion of Korea, King Seonjo took refuge with his concubine In Bin and his wife, Queen Eun, wandered around Pyeonghan-do, and even during the Jeongyu Cheran, he took only In Bin with him. King Seonjo's second queen, Queen In-mok Kim Clan, was the daughter of Yeonheung Buwon-gun Kim Je-nam. When King Seonjo's first queen passed away in 1600, she was installed as King Seonjo's second queen in 1602. 2 years later, in 1606, she gave birth to King Seonjo's legitimate son, Prince Yeongchang. After Gwanghae-gun ascended to the throne, she became the Queen Dowager, but in 1613, her father and Prince Yeongchang were implicated and executed in Gyechu-goksa. She was eventually stripped of the title of Queen Dowager in 1618, and she was imprisoned in Gyeongun Palace. After this, when the Injo Rebellion was successful in 1623, when the Seoin forces dethroned Gwanghae-gun and enthroned King Seonjo's grandson Neunryang-gun, she again rose to the position of Queen Dowager. She died at the age of 49 in Hunmyeongjeon Hall of Ingyonggung Palace in 1632. According to the annals of King Yeongjo, Injeongbok Palace appears to have been located to the left of Sajikdan on the Inrangsan mountain, but the details are not known. Starting with the incident of Queen Inmok's dethronement, a writing depicting Queen Inmok's life has been handed down, and this writing is called Gachuk Diary. It realistically describes the chaos surrounding Hwang Hae-gun, the son of Gongbin Kim clan, and Prince Yeongchang, the son of Queen Inmok. This is the family tree of King Seonjo.